Hello, friends, and welcome to Season 7 of the Future Ready Librarians podcast series, Leading from the Library. This is a podcast for all librarians wherever you are in your journey. It is filled with amazing guests, important topics, and engaging conversations that will inspire, engage, and support all of us as Future Ready Librarians. I am your host, Shannon McClintock Miller. I am the District Teacher Librarian at Van Meter Community School in Van Meter, Iowa, and serve as the Future Ready Librarians leader. I have the pleasure of working within my library and school community and also with others around the country and world through Future Ready Librarian events, conferences, consulting, writing, and more. I am honored to bring these voices and the work of others to our podcast and to all of you. Well, today I am very excited and honored to welcome two of my dear friends and also my colleagues to our podcast. And I am so lucky I get to work with Harlingen School District with their library program and all of their amazing librarians. And I couldn't be more proud of these two because Allie and Veronica, last year, this is my second year with them, and last year they took a new leadership role within their library program. And it's just been so neat to see not only what they do because they are two of the leaders within the library program, but also they are in their own libraries. And so a lot like me, when I think of all the things, that I get to learn and share and do outside of my library, it's been really neat to see how not only they inspire their librarians that are in their school district, but also they get inspired by their librarians too, which I think is such an amazing thing. And so we're just going to start by having Allie and Veronica introducing yourselves and just welcome to the show.
So my name is Alexandra Cornejo, Allie for short, and I work with the Harlingen CISD School District. I've been a librarian for about 8 years. This is my 15th year in education. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been a wild ride, such an honor and a privilege to serve my community. And I'm just astounded that I've been able to serve for 8 years as a librarian. I feel like it's the best job in the whole wide world because it changes every year. Library programming never stays the same. And so I just feel really blessed to be able to serve in this role. And now recently, last school year, Veronica and I were able to add on to that title of librarian as lead librarians. And that has been one of the most rewarding experiences ever because I've been able to create such a strong partnership with Veronica. And currently the campus that I work at is Harlingen School of Health Professions, which is a school that caters to students who would like to pursue a career in the medical professions. And it has grades 8 through 12. So I'm considered a high school librarian. And I am an important resource for our students who are doing research in the medical field, trying to obtain those books to support their curriculum. And of course, for leisure reading. And of course, I love all things ed tech. So I do try to infuse quite a bit of ed tech into my lessons.
Oh, thanks, Allie. And Veronica.
So my name is Veronica Rodriguez. I am a school librarian at Austin IB World School Elementary. I am a certified librarian, but I actually hold a different title there at Austin. Being that we're an IB campus, I am the cultural literacy and cultural studies specialist for my campus. I am better known as the librarian. Everybody knows me as the librarian. And it's just been a great experience. I've been in education for 15 years, 9 in the classroom and 6 as a librarian, 4 at my current school, and 2, this is my second year, just like Allie said, as the lead librarian for elementary libraries in our district. I'm super excited. I love working with our librarians. It has been a tremendous amount of knowledge that I'm gaining from my fellow librarians. I just love hearing their stories. I love being able to take back ideas from them and bringing them into my school and with my school culture and see how I can intertwine all their ideas. And I'm very excited to be working with Allie again. I've learned so much from Allie. She's been a rock star librarian in my eyes for years. And then when it was announced that we were going to be working with Miss Shannon Miller, another rock star librarian, it just made my year. And so I'm super excited to be working with both of you this year again. And so I can't wait.
Oh, you guys are an inspiration. And I think that a lot of people, and the reason that I really wanted to have you also on the podcast is a lot of people are in the position where they might be in a library and also like leading, their library program within their school district. And oftentimes like that balance, right? Especially if that job is new to you, or maybe your district is thinking about doing things different and they need those like lead roles. Like think of the difference like that's made within your school community and within your, even just your libraries. And so just tell us a little bit of that history, like how these two roles came about.
I'll go ahead and go first. So our structure of leadership within library services changed. We had a new superintendent. Our leadership was changing, and it was the perfect moment to kind of have a shift, to pivot to something that may be more effective. And I believe our senior team thought it best that change in structure to two lead librarians, and under the leadership of our instructional technology specialist, who is amazing. Having a lead librarian for high school, having a lead librarian for elementary was a structure that they decided on. And I think the thought behind that was to make sure that elementaries and secondary schools had that expertise from someone who has experience in the field, who has been on campus, who has been in the weeds, knows what important library programming needs to happen from month to month. And so it was something they were trying out. It had, from my knowledge, I don't think it had ever been done where we had two lead librarians. It had always been a coordinator, one leader. And sometimes you think, maybe this is too many people doing the leadership, right? Because it's me, it's Veronica, and our instructional technology specialist. But the synergy has been amazing. And I feel that they are just amazing think partners. And we all care so much because our librarians, they're giving 100% every single day. And the fact that I'm on a campus, Veronica is on a campus, we know exactly what they're going through. And so they don't hesitate to reach out should they have any questions or if they need advice. And we don't hesitate to reach out to them if we need advice, if we need, because they have so many great ideas. So we're still open to learning more and more every day. But I think the structure is just amazing, because when you have these amazing think partners like our specialist and Veronica, it just works. The synergy is wow.
That's something that I always notice. Yeah, go ahead, Veronica.
I do have to agree with Allie, having those two separate, because there's so many things that go into an elementary library program that don't necessarily go into the secondary program. And sometimes, yes, they get it. The secondaries do get it, but it's in a different scope for elementary. And sometimes it's just great to just be able to speak to the elementary librarians and, how did you come about with this? And how did this work for you? And how did just having that separate conversation too And, it's familiar language. We understand. And secondary, they're, oh, well, we don't have that problem, or we don't see that as an issue. And just being able to have the two separate, it's great. It has been working so great. We also do keep each other informed in what's going on in each other's worlds, because Allie doesn't really get to hear all, concerns with elementary, but it's great to share out with her, because then, oh, well, I saw this online, and, she'll help with some resources, or vice versa. And we get to bounce ideas off. And I think it's just great. This year, I feel like we're going to accomplish so much more. We've done such a great job last year as librarians coming together in our district. And I think I just can't wait to see, we're only at the beginning of the school year, and we've already had so many exciting things already happen in our libraries. And it's just, I can't wait. I just want to keep hearing about what they're doing, so that we can, have that opportunity to tell their story as well when we go and meet with other leaders in the district.
And if I can just add, I'm sorry, Shannon,
Yeah.
Me coming from a secondary background, and Veronica comes from an elementary background, she's absolutely right. They're two separate worlds. And when we've come together, when it comes to collection development or challenges that we're experiencing in our own realms, to hear the other side and to hear those challenges that distinguish elementary from secondary, it's so insightful, because, and I just gained this whole new perspective of what the elementary world is all about, because it's a whole other set of opportunities and challenges, as well as secondary, and I've just loved seeing the world of elementary libraries through Veronica's eyes.
Well, and I think that makes you even better at because there's always things that you can bring from either elementary or middle or high school into our practice as librarians. And that has been just really fun to watch your group, the two of you, but what you've learned from each other. And Veronica, you said something about, the inspiration and just all the amazing things that all the librarians are doing within your school district. And I think that was probably one of my favorite things last year, was when you did the tour of the ILCs. And I'm so excited because this spring I get to be there for it. And hands down, one of the coolest ideas, when Monica told me that was going to happen, and then we planned and talked about it and did all those things with the librarians, I think that it was just something that everybody should do within your school district. So tell everybody what the tour of ILCs is.
So it was very funny though, because the tour of ILCs, everybody had a different idea in mind. And so at first we were like, oh gosh, what do you mean we're going to tour the ILCs? And so as we were progressing with our discussions, and we were talking, and we were kind of seeing where can we actually plan this out, and it just kind of naturally came as, well, we're going to tell our story, we're going to tell our library story, and we're going to invite everybody and anybody who will come and hear our story, because we want them to know what we're doing in our libraries. Our libraries, just so that everybody knows, are they're not about just checking out books. There's that notion of, oh, they check out books, they deal with the books. That is the smallest aspect of our job, checking out books. We do so many other things in our libraries. We have STEM activities going on. We have maker spaces going on. We have 3D printers, helping our students with so many different concepts that they're learning. The Tour of ILCs was our way of showing our community, this is what we do in our library. And we invited community leaders, we invited superintendent, the senior team, anybody that was willing to come and visit, we opened our doors and showed them this is what we do. We had parents coming in and, having their kids show them the maker space. How do they use this in the library? And, showing them how we are bringing in our new technology that we're receiving through the district, through grants, through, donors, and just showing them all of these wonderful things that we have and that we are exposing our kids to. And it was just an amazing experience to see our kids tell our story for us, because, a lot of the librarians invited students will come and talk to this group of people and show them how to use this, or tell them what we do in this center, or show them this part of the library. And it was great to step back and watch our kids be able to express themselves and become those great communicators that we have been working so hard to explain things to them and show them and give them that hands-on experience. It was just beautiful. All the librarians did an excellent job. And I wish I could have seen them all, but I was, watching through videos and photos and posts, and I was just ecstatic to see the dynamic things that they are doing. And I'm super proud of our group. It was so wonderful to see all the many things that they are doing.
Yeah, it was so inspiring to watch on Twitter and see all the great things. Like, I was like, oh, I just want to be there for that.
Yeah, you really do. You want to be in that moment with them and see it and live it with them. It was a beautiful experience, and I can't wait. So we have the next tour this year. It's just like, oh, can't wait to see what we bring.
So fun. Well, and I think about too, like, I'm sure that's opened up even more like community partnerships as your community sees what's happening, not only within your library, but through that lens of, the library being the heart of the school, and then what that can do throughout your school. The things that it's probably led to also in just that partnerships that you've made with others that maybe didn't know before, if it's community or if it's your public library or whoever, but it's because of that leadership that you have, not only between the two of you and with Monica as well, but also you're empowering your librarians to be leaders within their libraries, which is a great thing. So have there been like other community like partnerships and library outreach that has, been something that has been highlighted from either the tours or also just the work that you do? I'd love to hear about that too.
Well, I can speak to one very important partnership that we have with the community, and that's the Harlingen Public Library. So Veronica and I, we serve as liaisons between the public library and our school district. And so every month we attend a meeting, the public library board meeting, where they make very important decisions, but they leave a little area on the agenda to hear all the wonderful things that are going on in our school district and our school libraries. And it's always just such a wonderful report to give, because in this recent meeting, I was able to report that we modernized all of our libraries with collaborative spaces that have beautiful furniture that is conducive to a collaborative space, beautiful tables and big screens on collaboration tables and makerspace tables, and just a really modern take on school libraries now. They're beautiful to see, and now we're having meetings in all of these libraries. But I was just so pleased to be able to share that news with the Harlingen Public Library. And we also shared the tour of ILCs, how we were able to invite board members into our space, how HCISD libraries are transparent. We want everyone to know exactly what is happening in our libraries when it comes from collection development all the way to the coding and robotics and all of the fun STEAM and STEM activities that are going on. So reporting that to the public library was a real pleasure to do, and we get to do that every year. And by the same token, because we have this relationship with the public library, the assistant director consistently reaches out and lets us know what we're doing, encourages us to share what they're doing, and we do the same. We've had the public library on campus I know on my campus and at the comprehensive high schools, the public library has set up tables to invite our students to be part of their teen advisory group. They'll have e-card signups on our campuses. So I think keeping that line of communication, that partnership with the public library is so incredibly important, because I hold them in such high esteem because I know how much they care about this community. And it's really special that they want to make that partnership. They've gone so far as to make limited edition library cards with our 2 comprehensive high schools mascots on there. So, they're really honoring our public school district within the community at the public library with their library cards. And I think that's the bee's knees, and I want one so bad.
That is so cool. I mean, those partnerships are so great. I mean, from the partnership that the 2 of you have and with your librarians and the work that you're doing. And I think that that's something that, we all can be inspired by, because we know that the partnerships within library leadership, however we're leading within our libraries, just truly does make such a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so proud of you too. So I would love for you guys to tell people where they could find you and your work online. I know that Miss Allie the librarian.
Yeah, so all of my social medias, well, actually Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are Allie the Librarian handles. On Twitter just did not want to work with me, and I had one too many letters, so it's just Allie the Librarian on Twitter. And so that's where you can find most of my social media posts having to do with librarianship. And the TikTok, well, I'm no expert, but I'm really trying in that field, since that's where all the kids are. The editing is really killing me, but I'm doing a lot of research, saving a lot of visual effects. I love their green screen. It's so great what technology is coming out with, and I'm just trying to keep up. But yes, that's where you can find me, Allie the Librarian.
That's great. And Veronica, how about you?
I am on Twitter. I am Vero Librarian, inspired by Allie, the librarian. I think I have an Instagram. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm sure I'll share it later and give it to you.
Good.
But yeah, I'm trying new things. I see Allie on TikTok, so I'm getting inspired to kind of tap into that realm. I haven't done one yet, but it's there. The thought is there. Hopefully I can get one done pretty soon so that I can jump on that bandwagon. But yes, we do.
Thank you. Yeah. I know you guys do a good job. And Allie, I need to also learn about TikTok. So maybe we can all learn together.
We got to put our heads together and think of a TikTok series that will cater to librarianship and promoting literacy. I think that would be awesome.
There's our new job.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm ready to learn.
All right.
Oh, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the podcast series. And I'll make sure that everybody has your information in our notes, and we'll share it. So you guys are awesome. Thank you.
You're awesome, Shannon. We love you.
Yeah, I love you guys too. Thanks, friends.
Thank you.
As always, thank you to all of our listeners for joining us for this episode of the Future Ready Librarian podcast series, Leading from the Library. And a very special thank you to our sponsors, Follett. You make a difference in our libraries, schools, and within our lives and that of our students every day. We appreciate everything you do. I hope you can take what you learned in today's podcast and put it to use within your practice as a future ready librarian. If I can support you in any way, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram at Shannon M. Miller or to my email at shannonmcclintockmiller@gmail.com. I am always happy to help. Until next time, friends, keep finding ways to lead within and from your library.